This is the CBC Morning Report for today, Friday, June 16th. I'm Tisha Hines. Good morning. In our top story, after this week's SIDS Ministerial Conference on NCDs and mental health, the two may no longer be separated, but both classified as non-communicable diseases. Health Minister Dr. the Most Honorable Jerome Walcott at a media conference following the presentation of the outcome document last evening said most are in favor of its inclusion.
It has been agreed that we should perhaps not separate it anymore, but when we speak of NCDs, it is automatic that mental health issues are included. We had a very useful session this morning, a high-level session, where we looked at a different perspective, participation at a Minister of Finance, representative from the World Bank, where we looked at the actual issue of financing the changes that are necessary and how the health ministries and ministries of finance should perhaps work together.
Dr. Walcott believes the outcome document, the Bridgetown Declaration, which is divided up into 15 main points, 2 annexes, and various subheads, addresses the need for accelerated action. A declaration with solutions and plans developed by SIDS countries, recognizing that we need to have accelerated action internally in the countries to address the issues of early mortality and matters of childhood obesity, to mention a few, but also recognizing the need for SIDS countries to speak with a unified voice as they deal with these issues, not only within our own groupings, but certainly at various international fora. And also the need for us to recognize and to make it be known to our international partners that a lot of the issues are compromised and made worse by the fact that CIS countries have to deal with the challenges of weather and the misfortunes of the occurrences, usually almost every year in some cases. The director of the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Jarbas Barbosa, believes the SIDS countries working together is critical because this will help them to build resilience at many levels.
The exchange experience, they could talk not only about the health aspects, but also these multi-sectoral aspects that are around non-communicable diseases and mental health. And they committed with a very strong political declaration that is really very important to put in place all the measures that we need to respond to this challenge. From our perspective in the region of the Americas, the Pan American Health Organizations provide a comprehensive package of technical support, supporting countries to change their legislation on mental health, legislation and regulation to prevent risk factors for non-communicable diseases, how they can better prepare their primary health care. And I think that at this moment, this meeting, the leadership provided by Prime Minister Mia Mottley, that is important to recognize, putting all these countries together in this very beautiful island. I think that will be a very important point to build on the very success of this meeting.
We have more on the SIDS conference later on the morning report.
parliamentary committee ruled on Thursday that Boris Johnson, the United Kingdom's former Prime Minister, who was in power during the pandemic, deliberately misled Parliament over lockdown-breaking parties at his official residence at Downing Street. After a year-long investigation, the committee says Johnson would have been suspended as an MP for 90 days for repeated contempt of Parliament had he not angrily resigned last week.
There was no way of sugarcoating the news.
Is this the end, Mr. Johnson?
After months of inquiry, it was a searing indictment of Boris Johnson's behaviour while Prime Minister and of his conduct while being investigated by the House of Commons Privileges Committee. It was not just the illegal parties held at Downing Street whilst the country was in lockdown. The committee found that Johnson repeatedly committed contempt and sought to undermine the parliamentary process by deliberately misleading the House, deliberately misleading the committee, breaching confidence, impugning the committee and thereby undermining the democratic process of the House, and being complicit in the campaign of abuse and attempted intimidation of the committee. The report also recommended a 90-day suspension, the second longest such punishment ever for a Member of Parliament. While Johnson preempted that with his resignation on Friday, opposition politicians say it is not enough.
A decent public servant would have done the honourable thing, would have had a little bit of humility and would have apologised to the British public for what they put them through.
The report's conclusions leave very few options for Mr. Johnson to continue in a political career. The report even suggests that he have his parliamentary pass revoked. But there are still his cheerleaders who are determined to see him one more time.
I don't think you can ever write off Boris Johnson. He's one of the great titans of British politics and world politics. And of course, he left this house once before, did a great job as London Mayor, and he really is the king of comebacks.
MPs will vote on Monday whether to approve the report. And the results are likely to further inflame tensions in the ruling Conservative Party. The Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, has not yet indicated whether he will be taking part in the vote. But he will be eager to draw a line under the scandal that's cost the Conservatives public support, as well as the influence of a political friend turned foe who cast a long divisive shadow during his time in office and in the months afterwards.
The head of the International Atomic Energy Agency says the situation at the Russian-occupied Zaporizhia nuclear power plant in Ukraine is serious but being stabilized. Rafael Grossi arrived at Europe's biggest nuclear plant on Thursday to assess potential safety risks after the partial collapse of the Kakhovka Dam, which caused widespread flooding and exacerbated fears for the facility's safety.
Rafael Grossi inspected the site following the breach of the Kakhovka Dam, which provides cooling water to the facility. He says it's unrealistic to expect Moscow and Kyiv to sign a document on the plant's security while fighting rages nearby. Inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Agency will remain at the nuclear plant.
So we can see, I would say there are two elements, basically. On the one hand, we can see that the situation is serious, the consequences are there, and they are real. At the same time, there are measures that are being taken to stabilize the situation.
Jonah Hull has more on this from Kyiv.
What specifics may be attached to those technical solutions that have been put into place, as he said there, to stabilise the situation, we don't know. It may be above our heads, who knows, but he clearly goes away from that visit feeling that something has been done to restore some safety and security to that Zaporizhia nuclear plant. He also said, according to Russian wires, that the permanent IAEA present at the plant, permanent inspectors there, even in war conditions, will continue to overstate, frankly, the sort of dangers posed to this hugely significant and potentially hazardous place, given its location close to the front lines. It's frequently caught in crossfire. It is in territory controlled by the Russian forces in war. Even Grossi himself arrived there in armoured vehicles, in full body armour. This is a dangerous situation for a nuclear plant to be in, almost unthinkable, really. The latest concerns, of course, involve the breach of the waters at the Kakhovka Dam. That happened last week. Those waters, among other things, used to fill a cooling reservoir that was very important in terms of cooling the 6 reactors on the site. They're not operational, but they still need to be functional. There is power going to that plant, and they need to be cooled. As I say, he's clearly, to some degree, reassured by what is in place there, but any damage, accidental or otherwise, to that plant could have pretty catastrophic consequences.
It's time now to preview what's coming up on Morning Barbados. Today we'll be telling you all about the Barbadian who is in Miss Muscle and Fitness competition. A Barbadian afar who's going to share exactly what's happening with her with us. And of course, it's the Friday morning breakfast party here on Morning Barbados. So we'll be having Yannick Hooper come through and perform. Trinity Clark is going to be here to update us on what she's up to for the festival for 2023. DJ Chili is joining us live from New Jersey for Mix It in 5. We'll announce the winner from last week's competition. And of course, we have the new segment sponsored by C.O. Williams Construction, The Power of One. That's all coming up later at 6:30 on Morning Barbados. But after this break, more news, sports, and weather. Stay with us. Center during the Small Island Developing States Ministerial Conference. Dr. Sonia Brown, the minister in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, accepted the declaration signed by Ambassadors Matthew Wilson, Barbados' permanent representative to the UN organizations in Geneva, while his co-chair, Ambassador Luke Duolavalu of Fiji, presented the document outcome.
On behalf of the co-host of this conference, it is my great honor and pleasure to officially launch the 2023 Bridgetown Declaration on NCDs and Mental Health. And I use the figurative gavel.
There were 10 reflections from the persons with experiences, like Phil Andrew Lisa of Samoa. While pointing out the action others are taking, he made it clear that those creating the issues were absent from the forum.
We are far less likely to confront the challenges of climate change if we're physically and mentally exhausted. And yet small island developing states are the backbone, the key defense against global warming. Climate change is one of the biggest threats to local food security in the SIDS community. The World Bank is here, but where is Coca-Cola, McDonald's, or Nestle?
Among them was Barbados Sir George Allen, who is co-chair. There are, of course, the high-level policy experts who assisted with the document who also spoke. He wants civil society and government to do more and play a stronger role in the NCD message.
I would like to see our presidents and permanent secretaries make NCDs part of the national aspiration. But if that is going to happen, whole of government and whole of society approaches have to be a reality.
Barbados Light and Power Company has officially launched its Clean Energy Bridge at Trent St. Lucie. In her address at the event, Energy Minister Senator Lisa Cummins said more can be done, and she indicated that government will be providing a fuel option so there is cleaner energy burning. CBC's Wendy Burke has more.
The Clean Energy Bridge project, which combines various forms of renewable energy in Trent St. Lucie, is a plus in the area of clean energy. But Senator Lisa Cummins, the Energy Minister, believes there's further to go and things will change.
The time has come where those stacks that we see behind us begin to burn cleaner forms of energy. Through the Barbados National Oil Company, for which I'm also responsible, we import the heavy fuel oil to fuel those stacks. And we want to be able to work with the Barbados Light and Power Company to migrate over to what we have established as a country is a bridging fuel, LNG, and ultimately to a cleaner form of energy, biodiesel, which will be completely clean.
Managing Director of Barbados Light and Power, Roger Blackman, says the 33-megawatt medium-speed diesel plant now supplies a quarter of their customers.
Since its commissioning in June 2022, the CEB units have been performing exceptionally well. Thank you, Gail, and thank you to the project team, resulting in lower fuel costs for customers every month. Having operated for more than 6,000 hours, it has collectively delivered over 230 million kilowatt hours of electricity to customers across our island. For the first 5 months of this year, the CEB has provided roughly a quarter of the total energy consumed by our customers.
The engineering manager of planning and projects, Dave Skeet, says the project, which was done through COVID, had many people backing it internally and externally, and there was a lot of heavy lifting to be done. He also thanked those living nearby.
A big thanks also to Arawak Cement Company Limited for permitting the use of their property to receive and transfer plant equipment. Special thanks to St. Lucie Parliamentary Representative Peter Phillips and to our neighbours in St. Lucie for their patience during the equipment transportation and construction.
And the Chief Operating Officer of Emera Caribbean Limited, David McGregor, sent virtual remarks from Nova Scotia, saying the bridge is a cost-effective transition from fossil fuels to renewable generation, and more is to come.
The third phase of the St. Lucie Energy Gateway will be the Lambert's Wind Farm, which, in collaboration with other government entities, we look forward to construction over the next few years.
Rector at St. Lucie Parish Church, Curtis Goodridge, blessed the facility before the plant was unveiled by Senator Cummins and St. Lucie Member of Parliament Peter Phillips. Wendy Burke, CBC News.
Thanks, Wendy. 540 lives were lost to suicide in Trinidad and Tobago between 2018 and 2022. This is according to information provided by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. These statistics were shared during the launch of the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services Suicide Prevention Hotline. We get more in this TTT report.
Every 40 seconds, someone dies by suicide in the world. This is data sourced by psychiatrist Dr. Varma Diyal Singh, who shared the concerning statistics during the launch of the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services Suicide Prevention Hotline. Dr. Diyal Singh also revealed that death by suicide is the second highest cause of death globally for those within the 15 to 29 age group. Since some of the most common forms of death by suicide includes hanging and overdosing on pills, he warned parents to monitor teenagers who may be on medication.
You go by a psychiatrist, they give you medication for your teens, an antidepressant. There's a black box warning that when you're taking these medicine in the first month or so, you have an increased risk of suicide. So when parents let down their guard, they went to see Dr. Yal saying they're taking medicine. I don't have to look, no, wait in that first month before that medicine kicking, there is an increased risk.
Managing Director of D.L. Daniel and Associates, Shakila Daniel, applauded the ministry's effort. Ms. Daniel, who once experienced suicidal ideation, said mental health is not viewed as it should in society. She said oftentimes survivors are labeled as weak, faithless, or a failure.
However, I want that stigma to end. We are losing our young people for things that we do not discuss. We are losing talented minds and wonderful characters because we are ashamed. Shame is killing us.
The Suicide Prevention Hotline, 800-COPE or 800-2673, is a 24-hour hotline which provides preventative, rehabilitative and support interventions. Line Minister Donna Cox hopes it will efficiently address issues related to suicidal ideation and other critical issues faced by citizens.
The hotline serves as a lifeline that pulls individuals from the depths of their darkest moments, providing solace, understanding, and the opportunity for healing. Ladies and gentlemen, we at the ministry believe that behind every saved life lies a story of redemption, resilience, and the triumph of the human spirit.
The hotline is free to the public and provides an active listener on the line who renders assistance. There is also a web chat component that allows people to access the service via online messaging.
Guyana is leading the Caribbean community's efforts to boost food production and trade within the region. As more regional and international business players are being wooed into investing in food security, agriculture, Minister Zulfikar Mustafa says a major exposition will be hosted locally in October.
International investors are invited to explore the opportunities to invest in areas across the entire agri-food value chain in the CARICOM region. Coming out of the agri-investment forums held in both Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago, we have seen the growing interest of international investors to invest in the agri-food sector. And here again, I want to invite as many investors as possible to the intended agri exposition that we'll be having in Guyana in October of 2023. In light of the Caribbean's financial need, which as far back as 2020 was more than $10 billion US, the region is open, fostering partnership with both regional and international financial institutions and investors to address the concern of food security and the threat of climate change. From an investment perspective, the CARICOM region's huge food import bill can be seen as a unique opportunity for stimulating production in the region and ramping up cross-border investments in targeted agricultural enterprises.
The severe heat is placing a toll on both humans and animals. Humane societies that cater to cats and dogs are on high alert, warning pet owners to ensure their animals are hydrated during these regular heat waves. It's a special cause for concern in Belize, as we hear in this Love TV report.
Whether it be a barking chihuahua, a lazy lizard, or a chirping chicken, by all accounts, most animals are suffering from rising heat temperatures. Though it may not be obvious to our eyes, our pets are feeling it and we must advocate for them. Shauna Morelli, the president of the Kaya Animal Welfare Society, spoke to Love News on how our four-legged companions and strays are suffering.
The only positive thing for the strays is most of them find places to hide from the heat during the day. They're not restricted or restrained or confined in any way, so they can seek out, cool, holes under trees or in culverts, or a lot of them, find shady spots in people's yards or overgrown grasses or whatever. The problem with strays is some of them live in areas where they don't have access to water. So, and the dehydration is essentially what kills animals when it's super hot like this. So yeah, for sure, it's a hardship for them.
According to Morelli, there are guidelines to follow to ensure that our pets are taken care of in these conditions. This includes regular showers to shady homes.
What our owners need to do is they must provide some shelter, shade, something to get them out of the direct sunlight. And have tons and tons and tons of fresh, clean water available. They will drink way more than they ordinarily do when it's hot like this. If your animals are chained or restricted or confined in some way, please make sure that they have some type of shelter or shade. You know, and that doesn't have to be fancy. Hang a sheet up, hang a tarp up, do something to get them out of the sun's rays. We had an incident yesterday where a dog on the end of a chain died of heat stroke. He had no water, no house, no shade, no nothing. So that's unfortunate that is still happening, and we are seeing cases like that every day. We've heard of 2 dogs in the last week that have died from heat stroke.
In sports, Vice Captain Rovman Powell smashed a century as the West Indies secured a 114-run win over the UAE in their final warm-up match of the ICC World Cup qualifiers in Zimbabwe yesterday. The Windies posted a mammoth 374 for 9 off their 50 overs after winning the toss and batting first at the Takashinga Sports Club in Harare. Powell hit 105 off 55 balls, inclusive of 8 fours and 8 sixes, while Nicholas Pooran registered 5 fours and 5 sixes on his way to 74. And Kimo Paul hit 4 fours and 4 sixes in his 54. Yannick Correa and Jason Holder then led the way with 4 for 58 and 2 for 26 respectively, as the UAE finished their 50 overs on 260 for 9. Basil Hamid tried his best with an unbeaten 122. Speaking with CWI Media after the game, Powell said he is ready for the first official qualifier against the USA on Sunday.
It's very important to score runs, and score runs just right before the big show start, the World Cup qualifiers, it's important to get a little bit of runs on their belt, runs come confidence and, just to get good preparation going into the qualifiers. I think it was a proper innings, I started pretty slowly, and I give myself some time, something I wanted to do for a long time now, so it's just for me now to try and replicate that. I think our chances are as good as any. Once we play good cricket, play good cricket for long periods, we should be okay.
Let's take a look now at the weather for today. The barometric pressure stands at 1015 millibars. It's 27.4 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity stands at 82%, and the winds are blowing out of the east at 22 kilometers per hour. General conditions fair with light haze. Sea conditions for today: moderate in open water with swells peaking at 2 meters. Tides roll in. Forecast for Barbados, a mix of sunshine and clouds with a few brief scattered light showers. And into the evening, we know you want to know as you get ready for your events later today, pretty much the same, mix of clear skies and clouds with a few brief scattered light showers. That's it for the CBC Morning Report for today, Friday. Our next newscast is Newsday at 12 noon on TV8, followed by The World at 1 via our radio network of stations on 100.7 FM, 98.1 The One, and 94.7 FM. Thanks for viewing. Morning Barbados is next.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning to you. Good morning, Barbados, indeed. It's Friday, June 16th. So wonderful to have you in company for the closeout of another week. I'm Tisha Hines. I'll be here with you until 8 o'clock this morning. And we have loads to get to. Of course, on Friday, we do the Friday morning breakfast party right here on Morning Barbados. So today will be no different. Call up the friends and relatives all the way across the diaspora, wherever they are, and let them know they can also be a part of this presentation on YouTube and Facebook, and they can follow us on Instagram for updates and all of that wonderful stuff. So today we are getting to the Mix It in 5, which is growing in popularity with you. DJ Chili is joining us from New Jersey, and what he's going to do is mix a number of songs, as many as he can, in 5 minutes, and then you have to name those songs. So you have to tell us what the songs are, and you get a chance at a prize. We're also going to reveal who the winner is for last week. Also today we're going to be featuring the music of Yannick Hooper. He's been around for quite some time, so we're going to catch up with him, find out what his offering is for Crop Over 2023, and he's sharing with us he's going to perform as well. Also here today, young Trinity Clark, and it's always wonderful to catch up with her. She's one of these young ladies who truly is a CBC baby, and indeed she's been on the scene for quite some time. Even though she is so young, she's been doing great things with the Junior Monarch competition. She had a wonderful year last year, and she's back this year with some self-penned pieces that we are going to hear a whole lot more about. So that's also coming up. Now, in the recent weeks, we introduced a segment called The Power of One, where we introduce you to people who are truly movers and shakers in their industry and truly empower and embody the theme, Moving the Earth to Please. That segment is sponsored by C.O. Williams Construction Limited. And today we are going to be featuring Mubarak Nakuda, who's an engineer in the contracts department at C.O. Williams Construction. They felt it necessary to share the stories of some of their brightest sparks, their employees who truly embody what their company theme says. So we're going to have a wonderful day today as we give you a good mixture of what's happening crop over wise here in studio for the breakfast party. And we're also going to feature some great Fresh Friday performances as well. We're also going to update you on what's happening over the weekend, so you can definitely look forward to that. But starting us off today, we are reaching out to a Barbadian lady who is in the Miss Muscle and Fitness competition, and she lived here in Barbados. She's now over and away. But she joins us this morning to tell us all about her journey. Let's say good morning to Caroline Boucher. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados.
So good to have you with us on this Friday.
Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right, so give us a little background into what piqued your interest in fitness and bodybuilding and things like that.
Well, from the time I was living at home, I was interested in bodybuilding. I don't know. I just liked, bodybuilt bodies. And I started training, I think I was about 8 or 19 years old. But then I moved shortly after that to the U.S. and I got married, had a family. That went on the back burner. And then in 2015, I lost my mom. I got divorced. And I said, this is the time for me to do something for myself, something that I really love. And I jumped right back in and have been consistent ever since.
All right, so tell me about this competition that's coming up. It's called the Miss Muscle and Fitness competition.
Yes, Miss Muscle and Fitness is a nationwide competition, and it's actually run by votes. So your friends, family, colleagues will vote for you, and the contestant with the most votes win. The prize is $20,000 and a photo shoot. It's based in California, so they'll fly you out. I'm in Boston. They'll fly you out to California and do a full photo shoot. You're on the cover of the magazine, and they also do a feature spread inside of a special edition of the magazine. It's really an opportunity to, for me, fitness is a hobby, and I want to make it more a professional thing. So it's an opportunity to be seen and to expand as a fitness model. So yeah, that's what I'm currently doing.
Now I know that you've competed in a few other competitions as well. How has that been for you?
Yeah, I've been competing in any competition that I can find since for about 7 years, for about 5 years actually, 5 years. The last one I I prepped to compete, and because of COVID, it was canceled. That was a heartbreaker because it was just 5 days before. You know how hard we have to prepare our bodies for these competitions, and it was 5 days before the competition, and it was canceled. But yeah, I'm actually in prep for another competition that finishes in September right now. So I've been prepping for the last 3 months, and I have another 3 months of prep for that competition. But that one doesn't depend on votes. That one depends on what your body looks like at the end of the of your prep.
Yeah, let's talk about that prep, Caroline. I have heard that it can be quite grueling. We recently had a major competition here in Barbados as well, and we heard from some of the competitors. So kind of walk us through it.
Well, for me, this one is the longest prep I've ever done. I started 3 months ago in a build, so I'm in a muscle building stage right now. And then from starting actually on Monday is when I start my shred. And so I'll start at a certain amount of calories. I don't want to say because I don't want people to start, trying to make the calories, because it all depends on your body. So I start at a certain amount of calories, and then you reduce your calories every couple of weeks until the end of shred. So by the time you're at the end of the shred, you're just eating so that your body functions, so that your heart beats, and and you can breathe. It's not a lot of food. It's very, very, very challenging, but it's so rewarding when you see what your body looks like at the end. You're like, yes, I did this. It's very rewarding.
All right, what's it like, the balance? You mentioned in the beginning that you got divorced. You're the mom of 4, I believe 3 boys and 1 girl whom you adopted. So what's the balance like? Because I know with this preparation, it usually takes quite some time for you to be in the gym and get your eating in and stuff like that. The balance, how is that for you?
At this point, my kids are older. That's why I was able to do it. My oldest, I had him when I was 17. So I was a teenage mom. He's 31. He doesn't live at home anymore. Then I have a 24 and a 23-year-old. My daughter just turned 16. So it's not very difficult for me, like I said, because the kids are older. I work the overnight shift. I get home about 7 in the morning, usually. And I prepare my meal. I have my breakfast. I take my daughter to school. I'm in the gym every morning at 9 o'clock, and I train from 9 till 10, and then I do my cardio. And yeah, so it's for me right now is not that difficult of a juggle with the kids, because my kids are older. So this is me time.
Absolutely. What are their thoughts on you competing in the competition? Because what goes along with the competition, I mean, are some really sexy outfits. I saw some pics of you there. You truly are carrying it off. But I mean, with a 31-year-old son, he must be saying, hey, Mom, I don't know.
Sometimes he doesn't listen. Sometimes I'm out with him and people think that I'm actually his girlfriend.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yes, it is a good thing. He doesn't like it too much, but I think it's a good thing. But the kids are all in it. They love what I do. My kids have been inspired by what I do. They are all, my oldest son was very athletic. He was on the football team right through college. And so they are all supportive, and they're behind me. They're voting for me every day, because this competition is a daily vote. So you have to log in with the link and cast a free daily vote every day.
All right, so let's get into that some more. What's the link? If we can share it, so we can get the whole of Barbados voting for you.
I would love that.
That would definitely be a good thing.
Yes. So the link I cannot really. I mean, the best.
Well, we have it at the bottom of the screen, so you can go ahead and talk about what they need to do.
Okay, so the best way is to follow me on Facebook, and my Facebook name is my name, Carol Ann Boucher. Follow me on Facebook. Every day I post the link. So you just click on the link. You will choose free daily vote. The warrior vote is an option. And that's a vote where you would donate money to the Home for Wounded Warriors, and the Home for Wounded Warriors builds and makes homes accessible for the injured vets returning from war. But every dollar you donate is a vote for me. And there are certain days when if you donate $1, I get 2 votes. But the free daily vote is what I would want people most to do. So you have to verify your identity when you do the free daily vote. So you have to either log into your Facebook or use your credit card to identify yourself, and because they don't want robots voting and computer generated votes. They want to make sure every vote is coming from an actual person in order to make the competition fair.
All right, good stuff.
Yes,
I want to wish you the.
sorry,
Pardon, sorry. Tell me.
No,
Go
I
ahead.
said you can also. My IG handle is Bajan Queen 004. BAJN Queen 004. The link is also in my bio on IG.
All right. I want to wish you all the best in the competition as you continue to prepare. And we definitely will encourage Barbadians to get online and vote for you so that we can see you moving on up in the competition. So that's the Miss Muscle and Fitness competition that you will be competing in. And of course, we shared that link on the screen. You can follow Caroline at Bajan Queen 004 on Instagram as well. So continue your journey and looking good, girl.
Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you for sharing with us. Oh, wonderful. Sharing all of this stuff, especially coming out of those high-level meetings happening here in Barbados. Another outlet for you, maybe something else for you to think about on that fitness journey. All right, we'll take a break here and come on back. Stay with me. It's the Friday morning edition of Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, it's time now for a segment that's really near and dear to my heart. It is called The Power of One. And of course, it's brought to you with the compliments of C.O. Williams Construction. And in this segment, what we're going to be doing in the coming weeks and months is featuring people who are making a big difference in our community. And that starts at the very basic level. So unsung heroes who are doing great human interest initiatives, who are making philanthropic, who are doing philanthropic effort to, philanthropy is a big part of what they do. We're also reach into companies and sharing people who truly embody what the theme of C.O. Williams Construction is, which is moving the earth to please. And we're going to be sharing the story of a young man today, as we have been, who's a part of the company who they feel truly embodies this theme. It's all about the power of one. Introduce you to Mr. Mubarak Nakuda, who's an engineer in the contracts department at C.O. Williams Construction Limited. Good morning to you, Mubarak.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's so good to have you with us. And as I mentioned, your company feels like you are the type of person who dedicates so much to your job that you embody their general theme of moving the earth to please. What does that mean to you?
Well, that's special to me because when you think of it, the legacy that Sir Charles Williams has created in Barbados is an everlasting one. I mean, he's literally built pathways and roadways in Barbados for success. The company has always got to greater heights. I mean, it started over 50 years ago, and I mean, the work that they do speaks for itself, not only here in Barbados, but across the region.
All right, now you started as an intern way back when, June to August of 2012, and it went through to 2015, or did you do the internship every summer?
What I did was that in 2012, I worked in the accounts department. I just wanted a summer job, so I was an intern there, and then I went, after the summer vacation was over, I went back to Harrison College for upper six. That was 2012 was when I finished lower six, and when I finished upper six again, well, it was, you know, around that time, it's time to apply to university and choose your career path. So then I went in the little more technical aspect of it, which was working in the QS department in the summer of 2013, and then they invested in me and they sent me to university, and then I came back every summer from in 2014, and then I just came back in summer of 2015, and then when I graduated in 2016 is when I officially started work there in August of 2016.
Tell me about selecting engineering. Did you select engineering, or did engineering select you?
Well, funny enough, when I was young, I always had the fascination of being a pilot. So I was like, I want to be a pilot, I want to be a pilot. And then like when I got my internships there, I was like, you know what, maybe I can do engineering. And I felt like maths was my favorite subject, and I always liked maths. So I said, well, look, let me apply for engineering. And then I got accepted. It was a mad rush to get into university, you know, the different protocol and logistics you have to do regarding vaccinations and organizing everything, because I wasn't studying in Barbados. I was studying in Trinidad on St. Augustine, where I stayed on Canada Hall. So it was a mad rush. It was very last minute. And yeah, that was it.
All right. How did it make you feel to see that this company that you interned at took such a chance on you as to support you in your bid to go to university?
Yeah.
And then, you know, for you to be able to come back and be a part of the company in this way?
For sure, it felt really well. I'm eternally grateful to Sir Charles Williams and the board of directors of the company. I mean, they invested in an unproven 17-year-old back at the time. And, you know, I always try to give my best, even from when I was an intern till now. It's a very demanding job. It isn't easy, but, you know, it teaches you a lot. You learn a lot, you know.
And you're a very young guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've already been appointed to a few boards. Talk to me about that.
Well, funny enough, the first board was the board of the Transport Board. The then Minister of Transport and Works, the Honorable Ian Godet-Edgell, I would have met him on a road project at 2 o'clock in the morning, and me and him just started talking, and he was asking me for some advice, and I told him, well, I was just giving him some advice and just like best tips to fix certain stuff in his constituency. And then he called me and asked me to sit on the board of directors at the Transport Board, and it was like, well, whoa, you know, I was taken back. And I really do like roads and transport, so I felt like it was a way that I can give back, you know, to a country who's given me so much.
And that was only the beginning.
Yeah, it was. And back in 2022, again, he would have shifted ministry to the Ministry of Transport, the Ministry of Health. And then he then appointed me to the board of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. So, yeah, I mean, it's great experience. I've worked in the private sector my whole life, but to see how things were in government and their policy and their approaches to business, you know, it was a real eye-opener. It helped me become a better individual and broaden my scope.
How do you feel like you've been able to contribute in those areas? Because even though you're able to lend your area of expertise, it's a little different from what you do at C.O. Williams Construction.
Well, yes, it is different, and you know, I approach it with the mind to learn, and both boards have had great people who've taught me and helped me. I've been the youngest on each board every time, and well, that's a bit intimidating at first, you know. The people that's been on these boards and the various chairmen and women have been really opening and welcoming and very hospitable, and I felt like my opinion always mattered on topics, and they trusted me when it was on the Transport Board. I was the board member that was sitting in on the electric bus committee meetings, and now that I'm on the Queen Elizabeth Hospital Board, I am the chairman of the infrastructure subcommittee, so I felt like, you know, they've trusted me and they've backed me, and, you know, I've never had a moment where I reached out to them for guidance or help, and they didn't oblige to help me at all.
How do you feel that all that you've done to this point, how do you feel that has helped to shape who Mubarak is as a person sitting here in front of us today?
You know, I've never really sat and think about that, to be honest. I felt like for most of my life just been going and stuff, but recently I've like reflected a lot on, you know, like where I come from, especially of Indian ethnicity. Both sets of my grandparents were from India. My dad is from India. My mum was born here, and, you know, like, I've always felt welcome in the Barbadian society, and to sit down and reflect on where you come from is very important, because you see, yes, there's a long way to go, and we as humans always want more and searching for more, but, you know, sometimes you just give thanks and be grateful for where you come from, and, you know, the Almighty is always in charge.
All right, for sure. Talk to us now about this engineering gig at CO Williams Construction, because engineering is different depending on, you know, what area you go into. So talk about the job satisfaction. I can see it in your face, in your eyes, as you're sitting here, that you truly are very comfortable and happy with what you do.
Yeah, well, when I was at university, I felt like most people that do civil engineering, they always prefer like the structural aspect of it. But personally for me, I'm not sure if it's, I always tell people, I'm not sure if it's because I was brainwashed at CO Williams, but the earthworks and the civil works of it appeals to me more. So like, I mean, I think when I graduated in 2016, the road network in Barbados was really atrocious. I think it's came a very long way, and, you know, like, I felt like every time I worked on a road, obviously it's part of a huge team, and they all deserve credit from top to bottom. You know, if you get that satisfaction to know that, you know, that yes, I've worked on this project, yes, I've improved this road network, and people don't see it, but roads is a means of business and improving business and commerce in the country, and, you know, is appealing to the general eye about structures and buildings. People like pretty buildings, tall buildings, you know, but people don't actually realize to get to those tall, pretty buildings, you need great roads, and it affects business. So I felt like, you know, it was a great contribution for me to work on these projects as part of a team. And then I think the best project that I've ever worked on, it was the Harrison Point project, because I tell everybody that that project wasn't like a work project. Yes, it was for work, but I felt like it was a contribution back to Barbados, because I could have ended up there, my family could have ended up there. You know, it felt like I was working for a greater cause at that time. Yes, as I say, yes, it was a job. I felt like, you know, it was a contribution to my country.
All right. On a daily basis, and I know this is a difficult question too, one of those questions that you truly have to think about. On a daily basis, as you go about the work you do you see how your contribution ties into the general contribution of the company? And do you see how your individual input adds to the output of CO Williams Construction? And does that play a role in your approach to what you do?
Yeah, for sure, because for example, today is Friday. So for Friday work, the planning starts on Thursday afternoon, evening, or sometimes even before that. You know, I tell people the job isn't a staunch 8 to 4 or 9 to 5, you know, what certain people are accustomed with. Like, construction is something like, if there's a hole in the road, you're definitely not going to just leave the hole in the road. You have to be there till it's finished. Sometimes there's night work, sometimes late hours, there's weekend work on busy roads. And there's definitely a great planning. You have to plan meticulously and really well. I mean, sometimes you could plan for everything and something still happens. You know, you're dealing with weather, you're dealing with call-ins, you're dealing with breakdowns, mechanical issues, so there's a lot of different permutations. But it definitely takes a lot of planning, and you could have everything right, but one step up would definitely sometimes cost you so much.
All right, you've mentioned that your grandparents and your father all come from India, and your mom from Barbados. You obviously are Barbadian by birth.
Yeah.
So talk to us about how you think that heritage maybe has fed into your approach to work as well, or, you know, are there other factors that you think have contributed to your approach to work that has the top brass of the company so impressed with your contribution that, you know, they have you here today as a featuree in the Power of One, talking about your contribution to the company?
My sister actually told me something. She said, when you think of it, imagine our grandparents came to the Caribbean years ago with probably only one suitcase, you know, and look what they've built today, look where we are today in life, you know. My mom definitely instilled great discipline into me. She's a taskmaster.
Licks and all?
For schoolwork when I was young, a little bit, but she doesn't beat me anymore, obviously. She could quarrel now and then, but she's definitely more than me. She's given me every shot in life. I obviously owe her a lot. And to see her proud and make her proud, you know, it's really heartwarming. My sister, my uncle, everyone, my whole family that plays a role. Yeah, so I felt like, you know, like I've always been accepted by the Barbadian society, even though I am of Indian ethnicity or descent. So I felt like, you know, that's enough encouragement and drive to get me where I need to be.
What would you say to, you know, some young Harizonian or secondary school student who is looking on, who, where you were, you said you were just looking for a summer job, and it has turned into this, which is totally different from what you thought your plan was. So what would you say to any young person who is looking on about what their approach should be generally to life and planning for life as it comes?
What I would say a big thing that's imperative as a young person, and even as an older person, is that yes, academics is important, but majority of the learning that will ever take place will be outside of the classroom. And academics or education alone will never, ever take you to where you need to be. Your networking skills, how you talk to people, how you deal with people is very vital, it's paramount to your success. I mean, yes, as I said, education is very important, is a great tool to have in the world today, but it's not like past societies where, you know, like a selected few had degrees. No, everyone almost have a degree. You know, the literacy rate has really gone up, especially in Barbados. You know, we are one of the highest per capita for degrees. So, you know, you need to do things that to be successful that not everyone else will do or want to do in terms of being disciplined and driven, and, you know, it takes a lot.
All right, Mubarak Nakuda, on behalf of your company, C.O. Williams Construction, they believe you embody the general theme of the company, which is moving the earth to please. And today we salute you on their behalf in the Power of One and in talking about how your contribution is contributing to the general wonderful outcome of the company. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, and thanks for sharing your story with us as well. You told me at the beginning, don't make me nervous. You weren't nervous, right?
Slightly, maybe.
All right, we're going to take a break here and update you on the news, and come on back. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to
2.5 minutes after 7 o'clock, time for an update of the news. Now, after this week's Small Island Developing States Ministerial Conference on Non-Communicable Diseases and Mental Health, the two may no longer be separated, but both classified as non-communicable diseases. Health Minister Dr. the Most Honorable Jerome Walcott, at a media conference following the presentation of the outcome document last evening, said most are in favor of its inclusion.
It has been agreed that we should perhaps not separate it anymore, but when we speak of NCDs, it is automatic that mental health issues are included. We had a very useful session this morning, a high-level session, where we looked at a different perspective, participation at a Minister of Finance, representative from the World Bank, where we looked at the actual issue of financing the changes that are necessary and how the health ministries and ministries of finance should perhaps work together.
Dr. Walcott believes the outcome document, the Bridgetown Declaration, which is divided up into 15 main points, 2 annexes, and various subheads, addresses the need for an accelerated action.
A declaration with solutions and plans developed by 6 countries, recognizing that we need to have accelerated action internally in the countries to address the issues of early mortality and matters of childhood obesity, to mention a few, but also recognizing the need for 6 countries to speak with a unified voice as they deal with these issues, not only within our own groupings, but certainly at various international fora. And also the need for us to recognize and to make it be known to our international partners that a lot of the issues are compromised and made worse by the fact that 6 countries have to deal with the challenges of weather and the misfortunes of the occurrences, usually almost every year in some cases.
The Director General of the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Jarbas Barbosa, believes the 6 countries working together is critical because this will help them to build resilience at many levels.
The exchange experience, they could talk not only about the health aspects, but also these multi-sectoral aspects that are around non-communicable diseases and mental health, and they committed with a very strong political declaration that is really very important to put in place all the measures that we need to respond to this challenge. From our perspective in the region of the Americas, the Pan American Health Organizations provide a comprehensive package of technical support, supporting countries to change their legislation on mental health, legislation and regulation to prevent risk factors for non-communicable diseases, how they can better prepare their primary health care. And I think that at this moment, this meeting, the leadership provided by Prime Minister Mia Mottley, that is important to recognize, putting all these countries together in this very beautiful island. I think that will be a very important point to build on the very success of this meeting.
And of course, the main outcome is that the Bridgetown Declaration on Non-Communicable Diseases and Mental Health has been signed. That was done last evening and presented at the Lloyd Erskine Sanford Center during the Small Island Developing States Ministerial Conference. Dr. Sonia Brown, the Minister in the Ministry of Health and Wellness, accepted the declaration signed by Ambassadors Matthew Wilson of Barbados, the permanent representative to the UN organizations in Geneva, while his co-chair, Ambassador Luke Duolivalu of Fiji, presented the outcome document.
On behalf of the co-host of this conference, it is my great honor and pleasure to officially launch the 2023 Bridgetown Declaration on NCDs and Mental Health. And I use the figurative.
There were then reflections from persons who lived experiences like Fale Andrew Lisa of Samoa. While pointing out the action others are taking, he made it clear that those creating the issues were absent from the forum.
we are far less likely to confront the challenges of climate change if we're physically and mentally exhausted. And yet small island developing states are the backbone, the key defense against global warming. Climate change is one of the biggest threats to local food security in the SIDS community. The World Bank is here, but where is Coca-Cola, McDonald's, or Nestle?
And that's our update of news. Remember, our next newscast is Newsday at 12 noon here on TV8, followed by The World at 1 via our radio network of stations, 100.7 FM, 98.1 The One, and 94.7 FM. Morning Barbados continues after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
In Barbados, it's time for Mix It in 5.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's the Friday morning breakfast party right here on Morning Barbados. Time for us to reach out and say a special good morning to DJ Chili. It's time to Mix in 5.
Good morning, Barbados. It's time for Mix It in 5.
Soca Journey with DJ Chili.
The Soca Journey.
Hey, we don't care if them like me. We say hey, 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 hey. We don't care if them like me. Rude boys tell me them love this. Sexy ladies them love this. Even the old people love this. And the whole world ready to bust this. Hands in the air, let me Jones it again. Big tune play, let me Jones it again. Everybody come, let me Jones it again. The latest swagger, the latest trend. Jones, and bubble with your friend. Jones, we doing it again. Jones, out Jones it again. Jones. We're ready, yeah, we're ready. We're ready for the road. Get in the middle and book it. In the middle and book it. Get in the middle and book it. And book it up for me. My God, let's get in the middle and book it up, man. Ladies, start the back and down. The band get down low, show them the band. People call him Benjamin. So they want a tune again. And so head done gone, so I feeling to chant out you. And a bottle of rum. Don't need to wine on me in the party. I'm already drunk. One thing I need inside that is rock the boat and drop it low tide, drop it low tide, drop it low tide. When the people pride and drop it low tide, drop it low tide, drop it low tide. Before you get upside and stick it half tight, stick it half tight, sticky, 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 sticky half tight and high tide, get high tide. Blaze up and think up the vibe. I'm winding up in this session, and every eye on me, so it's now these days. My love, everybody betting, everybody getting it, everybody catching it. This is how we celebrate.
I don't have to stay at home, I don't have to answer phone. I could have any girl in my car. Oh, I could be single forever. Oh, I could be single forever.
I got liquor in my cup, cup can't empty, fill it up. And if I never know for sure. We are the life of the party. Yeah, but I'm the life of the party. You tell me go, but I don't want to go. You tell me go, but I don't want to go. Here we go. Traveling for the whole day, jumping up on the highway, having fun while we young. This is how I enjoy my life, my life, my life. This is how I enjoy my life, my life, my life. This is how. Let's go. We loose again. We loose. We jumping up on the loose again. We loose and we running the race, 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 race. And inside the bed party be whining now. Drop the bumper, don't pick it up, don't pick it up, girl, don't pick it up. Drop the bumper, don't pick it up, don't pick it up. You crazy, alright. Drop the bumper, don't pick it up, don't pick it up, girl, don't pick it up. Like it the wrong girl, like it the wrong girl, like it the wrong girl. Take your time when you're doing that wine. All of the walk up girls get in line. Set up yourself and work that spine. Follow instructions and start to whine. I want you make bumper go around, go around, go around, go around, go around. I want you make bumper go around, go around, go around, go around, go around.
Soca Journey, a drive through Soca.
Hey, don't forget, send in your lists of the songs who take you here and get a chance to win a prize in Mix It in 5.
It's DJ Chili. Barbados at C. Morning without the G. Okay, so it's Morning Barbados at cbc.b because that's what we say, right? We don't say morning, we say morning. So it's Morning Barbados. Don't forget MORNIN Barbados at cbc.bb if you think you can list all the songs that DJ Chili got into that mix. Now, last week for mix number 2, we had the Mix It in 5 list was won by Rhonda Hines Graham. Congratulations to you, Rhonda. We're going to be reaching out to you soon. DJ Grandmaster, put your hand on your bumper for that one. And Viking Thunder, Ring a Ring a Bit Ring Bang, Mighty Gabby, Dr. Cassandra, Iowa George, Time to Wine, Marshall and Ecstatic, Bassie Down, Burning Flames, Swinging Engine, Denise Saucy Wall, Belfon, Kelele, and Matt Fingal, Big Belly Man. That was the mix last week. I missed somewhere in there. I didn't get the Iowa George song. I thought I was on top of it. And when Chili finally sent the mix down, I was like, how did I miss that one? Yeah, but I mean, he mixes like butter. When he gets those songs in there, it sounds like 1 5-minute song. So you really have to listen and think about it. Of course, the people who know the music absolutely know. So you are tuned in to the Friday morning breakfast party on a fresh Friday here on CBC TV8. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Yannick Hooper is in the house. Stay with us. Oh, yeah. So welcome back. We told you we were going to talk to Yannick Hooper today. And, you know, it's like taking me back to way back when, just seeing Yannick walking in the car park this morning. I said, Yannick, is that you? So good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Happy crop over to you in Barbados.
Happy crop over to you, too. You've been doing this for quite some time.
For sure.
Because I remember when you started, I was on radio on 98.1 FM. That was... oh my goodness, over what, 12 years ago?
Yeah.
So that's a long time. So I know that your dad was into music. He was the manager for Coalition back in the day. Is that one of the things that kind of opened your eyes to the possibilities of performing soca music?
Absolutely. I would say that is the thing. I think as a child, just being in that atmosphere, it was always so exciting to me. You know, seeing the stage, the loud music, the performances. So that's what sparked my interest from that very, very young age. It's one of those things where when I saw it, I knew that, you know, soca is something that I want to pursue.
All right. Well, Dad was in the do.
Yes.
What did he say to you about the music and the industry generally and how you should approach it?
He always told me that you should take it seriously because, you know, entertainment is something that's very important to, you know, the nation. And he always stressed, just do it at 100%. And I've kept that over the years. You know, anything I do, any song I release, I always kind of hear him saying, you know what, if you're doing it, do it 100% and do it properly. So that was his advice.
Now, Yannick, you're also a songwriter in addition to being a singer. When did you realize that you had these dual talents?
I think it was when I was at Dighton. We used to have like performances at like school concerts. And after every concert, people would come up to me backstage and say, Yannick, like, why are you not releasing music? And it was then when I knew, you know what, this is something that I just need to take no more time not doing. So then I started releasing music, and from there it's been an amazing journey. Anybody that knows me knows that I am very passionate about the music and pushing soca, Bajan soca, to the world.
I can see it in you. Your first hit that really hit, that made people kind of sit up and take note of Yannick Hooper was Undecided. Take me back to that year where you made that song and the response that came afterwards, because I know it led to a lot of opportunities for you as well.
Yes. So that year, I mean, I will never forget it. It was fantastic. I released this song kind of late in the season, and I just got to see it grow and grow and grow. We ended up being at the top of People's Monarch. I ended up getting calls from all over to go travel. So it was a very special year for me, and it was my launching pad into soca music. Because after that year, like, the eyes were on me, and every year, you know, people are checking for what I'm releasing. So very special year, very special song.
Talk us through what it's like moving from year to year. Once you have a hit and you're out and traveling and so on. I mean, if you're here and you're just performing locally or maybe even regionally, then you maybe have a little more time to be in studio. I would imagine that the technical age has helped a little bit. So what's it like preparing for the next year as you perform the past year's hits?
Yeah. What I always tell people is that it's a continuous process and it never stops. Like, even this season, I'm actually in studio recording for next season because you always have to be ready. Last year, obviously, and the year before, we took a little break from the pandemic, and I was on Skype making music nearly every day with my producers. So it's the type of thing that you must be doing it constantly, because as an artist, like, you know, you're expected to release music all the time. So it's something that, you know, you just kind of do it day by day. And then when the time comes to release, you just let them fly.
All right, let's talk about that, because you've worked with a number of producers over the years as well.
Yes.
And you've done a number of collaborations that haven't really been the norm. So let's talk about the producers you've worked with through the years, and then we'll get into your producers and productions for 2023.
Sure. So I would say the first song that I did that was a bit of a fusion and different from a usual Yannick Hooper soca was a song called Wind Down Low. And that was produced by DJ Puffy. Everybody would know the Red Bull freestyle champion of Barbados. And that was kind of an experiment at first. It was kind of a fusion between dancehall and soca. And we said, you know what, we're gonna go brave with it. It's kind of different, but we're gonna release it into the world. And that actually opened a lot of mainstream opportunities for me. Like, the song did very well in Jamaica, in the mainstream world. I've also worked with producers from Ghana. Due to Wind Down Low's success and attention, I got reached out by a producer from Ghana, and he said, you know what about doing an Afrobeat song? And in 2019, I did an Afrobeat song called Answer. And to my surprise, it actually was nominated for an award in Ghana at the end of the year. So I've always been an artist, never afraid to take risks. And my thing is that if I have the ability to do something, why limit myself?
And talk about not limiting yourself. There are 3 releases for Crop Over this year.
Yes.
So talk to us about the productions, the writing, how you decide which one is lead track, because I know you always go with a lead track. So which one is lead, and what we can expect from you this year?
Sure. So the lead track is actually one that dropped yesterday. Very, very special to me.
That's why you're here on Mornin Barbados today.
For sure. You know, you guys' timing is always
sure.
correct, and I'm very happy to be here. It's a song called Sheldy Road, and it's a very patriotic song that I wanted to represent Barbados with. I saw in Trinidad, you know, Power Soca was kind of having a big, you know, resurgence, and I wanted to represent Barbados in the same way. So it's a nation building a song about Barbados and how we do things. You know, in some countries they chip, in some countries they whine. Barbados, we Sheldy Road. I always have a joke with one of my DJ friends. They say, when you come to Barbados, don't look for forward with the hands in the air. People get low, because obviously everybody on the ground dancing. So this song is about how we Sheldy Road as Bajans. And, you know, we released it yesterday, and we're just looking to push it to the globe, because Barbados is a phenomenal nation, and I think that we need to represent in the same way.
Now I know that you have some Trini roots as well. How does that tie into, or does it, the complete product that we see as Yannick Hooper here sitting in front of us, the soca artist?
Yeah, well, my family is very, very varied. Like I have an aunt from St. Vincent, I have an aunt from Trinidad, so I've always been a Caribbean person, you know? And I think being around them has exposed me to how lovely the Caribbean is, and I push that within my music. I don't ever kind of think, well, I want to limit myself to, you know, one country, because the Caribbean is where we're from, you know? So that's always been my thing.
All right, good stuff. So you're going to perform Shelby Road for us.
Yes.
Coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, what are your hopes for Crop Over this year? You didn't mention which producers you worked with on these particular tracks, though.
Got you. So Shelby Road was produced by BA Productions, and this is my two very good friends, Kimar Yearwood and Ramel Chase. Kimar is one of the lead people in the Police band, a very great musician. And I thought for this song, because it's a Bajan track, you know, you had to work with Barbadian producers. This song I released before that is a song called Monster, and I actually collaborated with two producers from Trinidad and Tobago, and it's been doing well in the Caribbean. And the first song that I put out is a song called Normally, and I dropped that really early in the season because that's the type of raga soca that, you know, you want to grow, and it's been doing quite well on radio. So we're very thankful for this year. Very, very thankful.
All right, good stuff. I know that you love soca music. You make great music.
Thank you.
And we certainly are looking forward to you shelling the studio.
Of course.
Not just the radio.
Of course.
Because this is, of course, the Morning Barbados breakfast party.
Of course.
Yeah. For you, though, when you listen, do you listen a lot to the radio when you're preparing for Crop Over? Because for me, sometimes I would listen to a song and it kind of gets into my head. So I'm singing when I'm just doing random things. It kind of, some songs stay with you. Do you have to kind of take yourself away from all of the action when you're in writing mode? Or are you able to kind of still listen in and see what's happening and then share your unbothered side of things?
Yes. I do a bit of listening because I think it's very important to pay attention to trends. So I'm always listening for what's the trend. Are people more leaning to raga soca this year? Are people more leaning to the real slow soca songs? Is power soca the thing people are looking for? And then from there, once I see the trend, then I kind of step away and create what I want to kind of put out there. So that's the process.
All right, good stuff. Yannick Hooper is here with us on the Morning Barbados breakfast party for this Friday. It's a fresh Friday too. Coming up, he's going to perform for us. So stay tuned. Hooper. He's performing that one he told us all about. He is getting ready to shell the road.
Barbados, you ready? Show them we. They asking me what is a Bajan, what make we nation, and I tell them look. look again. They asking me what is we culture, what give we power, and I tell them look again. Well lost, they bringing back the garden. Well lost, it's gonna be a problem. Well lost, wait till we touch on. You know why? This is why. Cause I feeling to fly. The sun coming down and we feeling alive. The music from the truck, how we was energized. We just wanna walk. We just wanna walk non-stop now. I feeling to fly. The sun coming down and we feeling alive. The music from the truck, how we... Yo, Barbados, get up, you ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, go. Shelly Road. Shelly Road. This is what to do. Show them we Bejan, Bejan. Show them we Bejan, Bejan. Shelly Road. Shelly Road. Show them we Bejan, Bejan. Show them we Bejan, Bejan. They asking me what make we waistline, how we don't waste time. And I tell them look again. They asking me how we does party and rep the country. And I tell them, you know why? Well lost, they bringing back the garden. Well lost, it's gonna be a problem. Well lost, wait till we touch on the road. You know why? Let's go. Cause I feeling to fly. The sun coming down and we feeling alive. The music from the truck, how we was energized. We just wanna walk. We just wanna walk non-stop now. I feeling to fly. The sun coming down and we feeling alive. The music from the truck. Everybody get up off your chair. Push back the table. It's time to Shelly Road. Shelly Road. Shelly Road. This is what to do. Show them we Bejan, Bejan. Show them we Bejan, Bejan. Shelly Road. Shelly Road. Show them we Bejan, Bejan. Show them we Bejan, Bejan. Shelly Road. All right, we're gonna take one last jump. This is for the island. This is for the nation. When we get on Spring Garden, Mighty Grinder Highway, we're gonna turn up, right? We're pushing Barbados to the world. I want everybody to take one last jump. You ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Shelly Road. Oh, Shelly Road. Show them we Bejan, Bejan. Show them we Bejan, Bejan. Shelly Road. Shelly Road. Show them we Bejan, Bejan. Show them we Bejan, Bejan. We have to believe this is the most spectacular country in the world. And we're gonna push this song to the globe. If you believe in Barbados, in your living room, raise your hand. If you love this island, raise your hand. That's what I'm talking about. Shelly Road 2023. Yannick Hooper. Thank you.
Mornin Barbados breakfast party in there. before 8 o'clock, and we're in full swing with the party. You know this. Going pretty well. Of course, we had Yannick Hooper a moment ago. If you missed it, no problem. You can go back and check and see what's happening on our YouTube page. We also stream live on Facebook, so tell everybody. Of course, every Friday morning, it is a breakfast party. So we kind of bring the crop over party to you. You know, right here at CBC, we are definitely socoholics and looking forward to everything the festival will bring. There was the big launch at the National Cultural Foundation last evening of a major show. We've also been hearing about Adrian Clark's show, which is going to be over at Bushy Park. We're definitely going to tell you about everything that's happening. Of course, we are also putting on quite a number of events. Now, this next young lady has been performing for quite some time, and then she made her foray into soca music. Let's say a special good morning to Trinity Clark. Welcome to Morning Barbados. Good morning, I'm doing well. Tell me a little bit about what you've been up to over the last couple of months.
Well, I have been writing, and these soca songs that I have released, these were actually written while I was in school. Late last year, and the reason I did that was to save time because then I recorded over spring break, and so I am actually really happy to see that these songs are being pushed and that I am really proud of myself for the writing that I put into it, and I'm especially proud of the production. Leroy Worrell, Slam City, Kimberly Innes, Blood Armstrong, and Rochelle Griffith, who did the background vocals on my song Radiant City, and this experience was fun. I really enjoyed it so
All right,
far.
talk to us a little bit about each one, because there are quite a few songs. And as you mentioned, this time around, you did quite a bit of writing.
Yes.
Has that been something that you've done a lot of before?
Yes, I have been doing a lot of writing because it's an easy way for me to express my emotions, how I feel. And instead of like how some girls like to write in diaries and stuff, I write songs. That's how I express and release any stress maybe, or my thoughts, put all my thoughts into a song.
All right, so you've gone overseas to school.
Yes.
What has that experience been like?
That experience has been great. It also boosted my confidence because having to prepare for shows and learning choreographies and being spot on, being on time, being professional, all of that has helped me in the process of getting ready for this crossover season.
All right, so 6 songs. I see 6 or 5. How many are there?
I think 5.
5
Because one is a
songs.
remix.
Now, you mentioned that Kimberly Innes, you work with Kimberly on
Yes,
one of them.
please.
Kimberly herself has stepped back from the limelight, so to speak.
Yes.
So talk to us about that experience and how you made that connection.
Well, her stepping back, she would have written the song, of course, and she just thought that my voice would have suited the song that she wrote. And you know, both my mom and I even asked her, you know, why she didn't sing it, because you know, it's like her voice is amazing, but I guess she wanted to push the youth as well, and her writing is still there, so she is still very evident within this song.
All right, well, that's wonderful stuff. You mentioned briefly a few of the producers you've worked with,
Yes, please.
including Blood, so delve into that a little bit more.
Yes, Uncle Blood Armstrong. I call him my mentor. He's actually my mentor for this soca season. He's actually really been helping me with performance and the right things to do, maybe the right things to say as well. We would have performed in Atlanta late May, coming on to early June, and that too would have helped in my performances, knowing how to interact with international audience while being overseas.
All right, I also saw you performing with him by yourself and then along with Blood at the Soca in the City,
yes,
or Crop Over in the City presentation of the Barbados Police Service.
Yes, please.
So talk to me about your performances this year so far and how you feel like the season has been shaping up.
Well, so far, firstly about that experience, it is always a great experience to be working with Uncle Blood because there's this immediate energy and joy that just comes with working with him. So that also helps. And I find that I'm interacting with people who actually bring out the confidence that there is within me, or bring out the mummy, so to speak, because I choose to perform. And my upcoming performances, I actually have Junior Monarch tent this Sunday at 6 p.m. at the Queen's Park Steel Shed, and then there's the tent number 2 on the 25th of June.
All right,
also
so
at the Queen's Park
you
Social.
enjoyed quite a good run.
Yes.
With Junior Monarch last year. Talk to me about that particular experience. I know usually Junior Monarch can be quite taxing for younger people.
It is. I will not even lie to you. It can be a little overwhelming, but that's if you're not really used to it. But because even though it was my first time diving into soca, it was a very good experience because I really feel that I needed to make this move into doing soca because it just, one, it opens up a lot of doors, and then it allows me to explore my writing as well.
All right. Does this mean, though, that it will be only soca, or will soca be an addition to all of the other things that you're doing?
Well, soca will be an addition because I am very versatile. My mom says I can sing anything, and so I just don't want to put myself just to stick to one thing. It's always good to be versatile because you never know what opportunity may arise, and you have to, I don't know, sing classical music.
But do you have a preference? I know you said for the Crop Over Festival, you're kind of looking at the soca music and thinking about the opportunities it can create, the doors it can open for you, where you can go with the soca music. And I do agree with your mom. I think you can sing absolutely anything with your gorgeous voice.
Thank you.
You know, do you have a favorite, or does it depend on which day of the week it is?
I don't have a favorite. I guess
I mean genre. Generally.
I don't really have a favorite. It depends on writing too, because I might write something and I prefer to listen to this particular song, maybe a nice cool R&B vibe, but then I write a nice sweet soca and then I like it. It depends, one, on the season, two, if I write the song, but I don't really have a preference. I enjoy all genres of music.
Good stuff. So you're back in Junior Monarch this time around.
Yes.
Of course, you mentioned the tents, and I really love that. You know, you have tents to be able to kind of hone your skills and craft and get accustomed to being on the stage and, you know, being comfortable with your individual songs. I know that there's a mentorship component to Junior Monarch this time around as well. So talk to me about that competition and how things have been shaping up for 2023.
Well, I obviously have my own personal mentors, but then we have mentors coming in to help prepare us, even those who were present there last year and those who are new coming in, to give us an idea of what more is expected of us. Because last year we didn't have a semifinals, but this year we do have a semifinals. So there must be a deliberate effort to put your best foot forward and to just know what you need to do in order to progress.
All right, I see you're repping for your school.
Yes,
the hair is
please.
hiding a little bit.
We
mentioned briefly in passing that you're going to school outside of the island. Talk to us about that transition. You've been back and forth, so I don't think you know you were away enough for us to miss you and say, "Where's Trinity?" Because we were still singing the music. You're still present at certain things. I most certainly saw you at Beige to the World. It came off. You and your mom were lending support there as well.
Please.
So, you know, talk to me about school, going to school away from mommy, away from friends.
Going to school overseas, I adjusted pretty well. It's not that difficult to adjust. The workload and the education system, I say, is great, especially for me. I think that they really take interest in seeing you progress, and like it's just throughout the entire school, and even the children there, they're all welcoming. There's so many different people from different places and different cultures.
So what is it you get to do? Because as I understand it, you also get to kind of hone your skill in performance and things of that nature. So talk to me about what you get to do at school.
Well, as I'm in the music conservatory, that is where most of my time goes. So even though I have my first subjects for half of the day, for the rest of the day I have music because that's my focus, that's where I want to go. And I spend most of my time within music because then we have shows and we have performances, we have choreographies to learn within, I guess, a month or two, a couple weeks. And even outside of that, we have like weekend trips where we just go and enjoy ourselves, parks, and I'm a big fan of roller coasters. I love roller coasters. If you take me to a roller coaster, I will feel very honored.
Really?
Yes.
No, the opposite. Roller coasters are scary.
No, I just like that
especially
thrill.
the big ones.
Those are the ones that I like. I actually have one that I need to try when I go back. That's the slingshot.
All right.
That's a must.
Yeah, enjoy that, Trinity. Yeah. So let's get into these songs again. I see there's I Love Soca. This one is written by you as well?
Yes.
Yes, I saw you perform this one again at Crop Over in the City.
Yes, please.
Talk to me about the writing of this one. If I can be so bold as to ask the concept behind the writing of the I Love Soca.
Yes, please. Well, the concept is the title. That's number one. But also, this actually came from my heart because being overseas, you're not home. And even though I'm overseas and I'm enjoying all of these new opportunities that they have to offer, I still miss home. Because even though I'm overseas and God has been so good to me, I will still want to go back to the place where I first started. And I remember there was this lady, her name is Auntie Joyce. She was such a big fan of me, and I sang at her Uncle Eddie's funeral. And one thing she said to me stuck out. She said, to know where you come from, but never go back. And that really stuck with me. It's like I know where I come from, I represent it, and I always come back home. And I perform, do my soca season, the crop over, but I try to keep going up and on.
All right, that's beautiful. Catch a Wine is your second release.
Yes.
Talk to me about that one.
Catch a Wine. Who said that I can't whine? My mother always used to say I have no rhythm, but from the time I just dive into soca head on, it just came instantly. And I mean, I'm her child. I have to have some sort of rhythm, one or two, And this song is specifically that anybody can whine, and it doesn't have to be in a very vulgar way, but it is just to represent our culture and who we are as a people.
The next one is Catch a Wine remix. Of course, that's the one that you did with Blood.
Yes.
Yeah, and you've already said that he is one of those people you're working with, your mentor for the season. What are some of the nuggets of wisdom that Blood has been able to share with you?
One thing is to always interact with the audience, always try to get their attention, make sure that they're always on you. And there was one thing that he said, not to be afraid if some of them don't really, let's say that I'm singing and they don't really move. Always think that they're listening to the lyrics and the words that I am saying.
Mm-hmm.
And that really gave me confidence, even onto performing with him.
All right, Raiding the City is another one that you've released.
Yes, now that one, what do I say about Raiding the City? Is literally about me showing my presence, that I am here. This is what I'm doing. And as I perform, you got to take up your ride, take up your umbrella, take up anything you can and just wave it in the air to just enjoy the moment, to embrace the moment. And there is a particular line in that song, in the bridge, we're sober. So we should be able to remember everything that took place in the moment of that party, of that fete, of that performance. We can't just forget it and then remember it the next day. It has to be there in our souls.
All right, good stuff. You definitely had soca on your mind.
Yes. Yes,
you did a lot of writing and some great music. I must add, of course, it helps that you have such an amazing voice to add to the presentation. And then, of course, there's Beijing to the Bone. You said that one was written and produced by Kimberly.
Yes, please.
And, you've already told us that was a really wonderful experience working along with Kimberly.
Yes.
And it truly is great to see that there are artists out there who are writing with younger artists in mind.
Yes.
Yes. Must be wonderful. So going into Junior Monarch this time around, as you mentioned, you have the tents coming up.
Yes,
which songs are you performing for competition? I know there are two categories, Kaiso and Soca.
Yes,
but it'd be interesting to see you do the Kaiso thing again. But are you in the Soca category?
Yes, please.
Yes. So which song can we look forward to seeing you perform for Junior Monarch?
You are going to be hearing I Love Soca.
All right.
Yes.
So you're sticking with that one?
Yes, please. That's the message that I want to put out there because I do love soca.
Yeah.
I can go anywhere in the world, but my cultural music, home stays with me.
What are your thoughts on the lineup for the Junior Monarch for 2023?
I think that is going to be a very difficult decision in placement, because all of them, they're bringing their own niche. They're bringing them, and some of them even wrote their own songs. So there's that written song that we're looking forward to, and you have to listen to the lyrics and how best they just put it over to the audience and performance. It's going to be a very, very good experience.
I can see that you're already enjoying yourself.
Yes,
You've been a part of quite a few competitions. What keeps you going, Trinity?
What keeps me going? I always say what keeps me going is, one, my genuine love for music, because there's not a day I go without listening to music. I literally listen to music 24/7. Even overseas at school, I always have my headphones in. Always. Doesn't matter where I go. And then my faith in God, and then having my mother there to just coach me and keep honing my craft until I'm able to just keep benefiting my own and getting better. Because I always say that you can't be perfect. You can just keep perfecting your craft.
All right, wonderful stuff. You're a very impressive young woman.
Thank you.
And I truly am proud of all that you've accomplished. You know, you're an excellent singer, and you're really good at expressing yourself as well. And that makes all the difference when you're able to truly express yourself and share who you are with the people. And I know that you guys are impressed as well. So make sure you come on out and be a part of the Junior Monarch tent this time around. The dates this weekend.
Yes, this weekend, this Sunday, the 18th, at the Queen's Park Steel Shed. All of the tickets are out. However, for the next time on the 25th, just know that they're free. Get your tickets at Queen's Park. Don't waste any time, because I was so shocked to see how fast they ran out. So there's a lot of support.
Why would the Queen list? I'm not surprised that tickets were gone in a jiffy. So if you don't have tickets, you're going to have to stand outside and show your support and listen, all right? So Trinity, again, thank you. All the best with the Junior Monarch.
You're welcome.
Most certainly will be looking on, and I wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you.
I love soca too.
We all do.
All right, we're going to take another break and come on back and tell you what you can expect, what else is coming up this weekend as we round out the Morning Barbados breakfast party for today, Friday. Stay with us.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, we hope you had a good time with us this morning as we brought you the vibe for the festival here on Morning Barbados. But before we go, we want to make sure that we share a few things with you. We want to make sure you are in the know about what is coming up this weekend and beyond. So the Barbados Olympic Association will be hosting their Olympic Day 2023 Glow Fun Run and Walk event today, June 16th, in celebration of Olympic Day, which takes place on the 23rd. So come on out. Remember, it's absolutely free. Go on over. You can get your shirts. They're going to give you glow instruments as well. It's a good opportunity to come out with the entire family. I most certainly am going to make an effort to be a part of it as well and join in the fun. And remember, from June 19th to 23rd, there's also an online challenge. So go and check their website out and find out a little bit more about that. We're looking to see how many miles you can walk. So make sure you check that out with the Barbados Olympic Association. But definitely looking forward to seeing you tonight over at the Wilde Gymnasium. The walk will be in the general environs of the gymnasium. Also, Rock Hall Heritage and International Fair comes off tomorrow, Saturday, June 17th, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We are still in the season of emancipation. And this is a great opportunity to come out again with the entire family and take part in all that will be happening over at the Rock Hall Heritage Park for the International Food Fairs, Heritage and International Food Fair. Again, that's tomorrow from 10 in the morning to 6 in the evening. QFM, they have the South and Soca, and we are heading to the Bajan Barrel tomorrow at Simmons Land in Christchurch with KB Clean. You can tune in live on Q100.7 FM for the live outside broadcast. But most importantly, we want you to come out and sample this sauce with us as we continue the quest to find the best sauce in Barbados. So it's Sauce and Soca with KB Clean and, of course, the QFM family. Scotiabank Junior Monarch tent, as we told you, Sunday, June 18th at the Steel Shed, Queen's Park Steel Shed. Now, Trinity told us a moment ago that tickets are sold out. I'm not sure. Check for yourself. I can't guarantee that. You might be able to still squeeze in the ticket, but you won't be disappointed. These are the semi-finalists. So these are the young people who have made it to the semi-finals, and I understand that 3 of the young ones from Beach to the World Season 3 have made it into the semi-finals. So I know they have a monster following as well, including Kaimani and 2 others. I'm going to share exactly who they are with you coming up next week. So that's it from us for today. We certainly hope you enjoyed. Remember the Mix It in 5 segment with DJ Chili. All you have to do is, I hope you were taking note of the songs in the mix. If you haven't, remember we're online, so you can go back and look and see what was happening and make sure you take note of those songs and the artists. Some people were sending the songs but not the artists. You have to make sure that you list the artists as well, and email your list to morningbarbados@cbc.pb. That's morning without the G. And hopefully you will be a winner for next week. All right. So on behalf of the entire crew, I want to thank you so very much for joining us this week for Morning Barbados. We had the Myasthenia Gravis Association in earlier this week, talking all about how they will be celebrating. On the 17th, they're going to be at Bridgetown Duty Free. On the 24th, Matthew Stores, really with an information booth and sharing about what will be coming up. And the Soca Karaoke, again hosted by KB Clean, is going to be at Vauxhall Main Road in Christchurch. That is coming up with our sponsors, and we want you to come out and be a part of that too. So that's next Wednesday. So, and I'll be judging that Soca Karaoke next Wednesday. So come on out. So have a great day today. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you again, God willing, on Monday. Do remember to wear your smiles on behalf of the entire crew. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.